morning, everyone. I am going to start reading our second book of Magic Treehouse. It's called The Night at Dawn. I'm going to read the back like I always do on the Ginny Bee. This one says, peacocks for dinner and boys in skirts. That's what Jack and Annie find when the Magic Treehouse whisks them back to the Middle Ages for another wild adventure. In the great hall of a castle, a feast is underway, but Jack and Annie aren't exactly welcome guests. Chapter 1. The Dark Woods. Jack couldn't sleep. He put his glasses on. He looked at the clock. 5:30. Too early to get up. Yesterday, so many strange things had happened. Now he was trying to figure them out. He turned on the light. He picked up his notebook. He looked at his list he'd made before going to bed. This is Jack. It's 5:30 in the morning. Way too early to get up, though. Oh, and if I didn't show you, that's the front of the book. It's like a castle, kind of like we're at the castle at our school. This is what he wrote in his book the night before. Found treehouse in woods, found lots of books in it, pointed to Pteranodon picture and book, made a wish, went to a time of dinosaurs, pointed to a picture of Frog Creek Woods, made a wish, came home to Frog Creek. Jack pushed his glasses in a place. Who was going to believe any of this? Not his mom or his dad or his third grade teacher, Miss Watkins. Only his 7-year-old sister Annie. She'd gone with him at the time of the dinosaurs. She had gone with him to the time of the dinosaurs. Can't you sleep? It was Annie, standing in the doorway. Nope, said Jack. Me neither, said Annie. What are you doing? She walked over to Jack and looked at his notebook. She read the list. Aren't you going to write about the gold medal? She asked. You mean the gold medallion? Said Jack. He picked up his pencil and wrote, found this in dinosaur time. And he drew a picture of like a medallion. Aren't you going to put the letter M on the medal? Said Annie. Medallion, said Jack, not medal. He added an M. This was the list he had made the night before. And he drew the medallion, and then he put the M on it. Aren't you going to write about the magic person, said Annie. We don't know for sure if she's a magic person, said Jack. Well, someone built the treehouse in the woods. Someone put the books in it. Someone lost a gold medal in dinosaur time. Medallion, said Jack for the third time, and I'm just writing the facts. The stuff we know for sure. Let's go back to the treehouse right now, said Annie, and find out if the magic person is a fact. Are you nuts, said Jack. The sun's not even up yet. Come on, said Annie. Maybe we can catch them sleeping. I don't think we should, said Jack. He was worried. What if the magic person was mean? What if he or she didn't want to know about the kids to know about the treehouse? Well, I'm going, said Annie. Jack looked out the window at his dark gray sky. It was almost dawn. He sighed. Okay, let's just get dressed. I'll meet you at the back door. Be quiet. Yay, whispered Annie. She tiptoed away as quietly as a mouse. Jack put on jeans, a warm sweatshirt, and sneakers. He tossed his notebook and pencil in his backpack. He crept downstairs. Annie was waiting by the back door. She shined a light in Jack's face. Ta-da! A magic wand, she said. Shh. Don't wake up Mom and Dad, whispered Jack, and turn that flashlight off. We don't want anyone to see us. Annie nodded and turned it off. Then she clipped it onto her belt. They skipped out the door into the cool early morning air. Crickets were chirping. The dog next door barked. Quiet, Henry, whispered Annie. Henry, stop barking. Animals always seem to do what Annie said. Let's run, said Jack. They dashed across the dark, wet lawn and didn't stop until they reached the woods. "We need the flashlight now," said Jack. Annie took it off her belt and switched it on. Step by step, she and Jack walked between the trees. Jack held his breath. The dark woods were scary. "Gotcha," said Annie, shining the flashlight in Jack's face. Jack jumped back, then he frowned. "Cut it out," he said. "I scared you," said Annie. Jack glared at her. "Stop pretending," he whispered. "This is serious." Okay. Annie shined her flashlight over the tops of the trees. "Now what are you doing?" said Jack. "Looking for the treehouse." The light stopped moving. There it was, the mysterious treehouse, at the top of the tallest tree in the woods. Annie shined her light at the treehouse and then down the tall ladder all the way to the ground. "I'm going up," she said. She gripped the flashlight and began to climb. "Wait," Jack called. "What if someone was in the treehouse? Annie, come back." But she was gone. The light disappeared. Jack was all alone in the dark. This is him looking up to the treehouse. And it is dark. Chapter 2, Leaving Again. "No one's here," Annie shouted down. Jack thought about going home. Then he thought about the books in the treehouse. He started up the ladder. When he was nearly to the treehouse, he saw a light in the distant sky. Dawn was starting to break. That means it was the sunrise. The sun was coming up, and so there was going to be a sunrise. He crawled through a hole in the floor and took off his backpack. It was dark inside the treehouse. Annie was shining her flashlight on the books scattered about. "They're still here," she said. She stopped the light on a dinosaur book. It was the book that had taken them to the time of the dinosaurs. "Remember the Tyrannosaurus?" asked Annie. Jack shuddered. Of course he remembered. How could anyone forget seeing a real-life Tyrannosaurus Rex? The light fell on the book about Pennsylvania. A red silk bookmark stuck out of it. "Remember the picture of Frog Creek?" said Annie. "Of course," said Jack. This was the picture that brought them home. "There's my favorite," said Annie. The light was shining on a book about knights and castles. There was a blue leather bookmark in it. Annie turned to the page with the bookmark. There was a picture of a knight on a black horse. He was riding toward a castle. "Annie, close that book," said Jack. "I know what you're thinking." Annie pointed at the knight. "Don't, Annie. We wish we could see this guy for real," Annie said. "No, we don't," shouted back. They heard a strange sound. "Neigh." It sounded like a horse neighing. They both went to the window. Annie shined a flashlight down on the ground. "Oh no," whispered Jack. "A knight," said Annie. "A knight in shining armor, riding a black horse through the Frog Creek woods." Then the wind began to moan. The leaves began to tremble. It was happening again. "We're leaving," cried Annie. "Get down." The wind moaned louder. The leaves shook harder, and the treehouse started to spin. It spun faster and faster. Jack squeezed his eyes shut. Then everything was still, absolutely still. Jack opened his eyes. He shivered. The air was damp and cool. I mean, it's kind of cold. The sound of the horses' whinny came again from below. "Nay." "I think we're here," whispered Annie. She was still holding the castle book. Jack peeked out the window. A huge castle loomed out of the fog. He looked around. The treehouse was in a different oak tree. And down below, the knight on the black horse was riding by. "We can't stay here," said Jack. "We have to go home and make a plan first." He picked up the book about Pennsylvania. He opened it to the page with a red silk bookmark. He pointed to the photograph of Frog Creek Woods. "I wish—" "No," said Annie. She yanked the book away from him. "Let's stay. I want to visit the castle." "Let's examine it here," said Annie. Said Annie. "Come on." He held out his hand. "Give it." Annie gave Jack the book. "Okay." You can go home. I'm staying, she says. She clipped the flashlight to her belt. She had pointed, opened up the book and said this is where she wanted to go. And look what they see out the window of the treehouse. Wait, said Jack. I'm going to take a peek. A teeny peek, she said, as she scooted down the ladder. Jack groaned. Okay, she had won. He couldn't leave without her. Besides, he sort of wanted to take a peek himself. He put down the book about Pennsylvania. He dropped the castle book into his pack. He stepped onto the ladder and headed down into the cool, misty air. Checking back to see how many chapters we have. We're going to go ahead and stop there today. Chapter 3 tomorrow, or I'm sorry, Monday, will be Across the Bridge. So we'll find out what happens Monday. Bye.